welcome to Get Wrecked, a podcast about video games and taking pictures of Pokemon and wondering why we haven't been able to take pictures of Pokemon in so many fudging years.
Fudging?
Too many years.
I'm still trying to figure out if this is a PG show or not.
Hang on. Let me try this one on for size, and you guys can tell me what you think. I'm about to say a swear word.
Don't say the F word.
I'm gonna say a swear.
Oh God.
So if you're not a teen and you're listening,
okay, so it's a teen swear.
Bastard.
Ooh. All right. Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Garrett's the wild card.
Here's the thing: are you talking about someone of unsure parentage, or are you just being mean? Because it is a vocabulary word.
I think he gets away with it because it's a vocab word.
It's open for interpretation.
Ooh, okay.
Anyway, welcome to Get Wrecked, a podcast brought to you by Rectify Gaming. I am Evan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Garrett.
And we're going to start the show
with Garrett's super important announcement.
Garrett has a very special message that we did not fight about at all, that he really felt needed to be included in the show.
Listen, dude, you shouldn't have left it to a coin toss.
Garrett, please. Give us your message.
Breaking news, hot off the press.
There we go.
So
I'm getting news directly from Reggie himself.
Visa May.
That Bowsette has just been confirmed as the 69th Smash character.
Very nice.
Fans everywhere, rejoice. Thanks, Reggie.
Are you happy that the bid is done?
Back to you, Evan.
I hope he's right.
Thanks, Garrett. Now to Nick with the weather.
Well, it's going to be raining all different kinds of power-ups that no one's exactly sure what they do. Apparently, there's a crown that turns you into a person.
We got a fella who's throwing turtles.
Just turtles raining everywhere. I don't know if you've ever been trampled by turtles.
Speaking of news, we got a little bit of news before we get into our big topic for this little segment. There is a lot of stuff that happened in games.
Yes.
Gaming.
In game world.
In the video game world.
In the video sphere.
Right, because everyone knows that we're basically captain and the podcast. No?
Huh?
No?
Is that what you want to go with?
You didn't like that?
That's all right.
It doesn't matter. All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to serve up some hot takes. We're going to do some Little Caesars takes. These are hot. Okay. They're ready.
Most of my takes are just lukewarm. Is that okay?
It's like
yeah, that's fine.
Takes.
Are they fast? Can we do it fast?
I can do fast.
Because we got a lot of stuff to cover real quick.
Oh, you know what? I pulled some audio to play before this. I should have just gotta go fast. So imagine I did that instead, right?
I gotta go fast. Forget that.
Here's the sound effect I did get.
All right, first and foremost on the hot and spicy, the hot Cheeto takes.
Mm-hmm. Spicy Flamin' Hot Cheetos takes. Go.
Flamin' Hot takes. Bowsette, thoughts?
I'm intrigued by the possibility of a magic crown that turns people into other people. It's like Pinocchio, but it's a crown, and instead of wishing to be a real boy, you just become a princess.
I'm honestly just impressed at the rate at which everyone got so horny in just like a matter of hours.
It was miraculous.
And does that also raise the question, is Princess Peach actually a mushroom? The whole time? She's wearing a magic crown this whole time?
Oh, wow.
It certainly, the crown poses more questions than it could
really
possibly
does
answer. But it's good. I'm into it. I like...
Oh, you're into it.
I feel like we have just scratched the surface of stuff. All right, next, Fortnite crossplay.
Oh, man. So this I find particularly delightful because PlayStation's position was so just hilariously sort of presumptuous.
Yeah.
Crossplay can't be because ours is the best.
What douchebags.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked for it, especially with the new season coming out, I think, today.
Yeah.
And I've got buddies that I couldn't play with before on the PlayStation, but now we can all be one big happy family.
I do love how Epic is just being like, no, we're going to do it. Because I don't think that PS4 is, like, Sony's not going to let it, but, like, Fortnite's just so big that they have to, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
What are you going to do? Say no?
Well, like, Nintendo has, like, onboard voice chat because of it. Like, the Switch, you can, All right, so that's good. Next up, the PlayStation 1 Classic. Thoughts? Good.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know what to think because I never had a PlayStation 1. I will say it seems like all the really good stuff from that era has already been remastered and re-released on PlayStation 4. So for me, I don't feel like I need one. I don't know. What do you think, Garrett?
I'm with Nick on this one. I wasn't a PlayStation boy. I'm more interested in that N64 classic that may or may not be coming out. Yeah,
the allegedly one.
Yeah.
Cool. Next topic. Da-ding. Telltale letting go of everybody.
And did not pay anybody severance.
Did not give them severance.
I only gave them like a half hour to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who's been fired, that really sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone stop trying to get Telltale to finish The Walking Dead and get them to pay their employees.
I think that's way more important. Look, I'm a big Telltale fan, but this is a bad look, folks.
And the whole thing is because of some funding that went, like, it's a bunch of, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Spicy hot.
Yeah. Roll20. All the drama. I don't know if you guys saw this. The Roll20 is a D&D client. It's a platform on the internet that lets you play Dungeons and Dragons with your friends on the internet.
Sure.
It's kind of like Skype meets, well, a D&D board.
D&D.
And
Makes sense.
the subreddit had a big thing where some guy got banned because his username was similar, because he asked if he could post criticism of the thing, and he got banned. And then there was a bunch of stuff, and he ended up getting like super banned because they doubled down on it. And then
It's worth noting that the moderators on the subreddit are the developers
and they
behind Roll20.
right,
Oh.
and they don't love. They have not allowed any critique of their platform on their subreddit, so people are leaving in droves. What do we think about this?
Dang. So I'm not super familiar with the content, but I will say, for those of you who don't have time to remember the golden rule of do unto others as you would have done unto yourself, you can at least remember don't be a dick.
Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, if you don't have time for the golden rule, that is some good shorthand.
So that's one that I usually live by. Is just don't be a dick.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I at one point was considering getting a subscription, but maybe now not so much.
Yep.
If this is how they're going to treat their community.
And last but not least, the Magic the Gathering online economy. There was a big fuss about it because people were like, "What? We have to pay?" Like, the free-to-play model is not great, but more people will spend money.
Is it ever?
No, but Hearthstone's isn't too bad. You can make a couple of decks without paying, I think. So it's a similar thing. And people weren't too stoked about the weighing of that. What are your takes, boys? This is the last one. Make it count.
All right, Magic the Gathering I feel like it's probably trading on its legacy. There are plenty of people. I just swallowed a Magic card. That's why my voice is all messed up. 'Cause I was just like,
protest.
Yes, I can't afford the digital ones, but I have some paper ones that I bought for super cheap.
You're wary.
I do enjoy, I want to say, Phyrexian stuff.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Okay, sweet. I was looking to Evan real hard for that one. I
Checks
was
out.
like, that's a thing. Free-to-play models seem to be really tough to do. Obviously, there's going to come a point, you're never going to make everyone happy, because the only way to do that would be to make everything always free all the time.
But
Yeah.
and you can't. That's not realistic at all.
That's not realistic.
because
So
you need to pay these people, and the game should ultimately make money.
the artist's time is valuable. The game designer's time is valuable.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want people to enjoy their game, but they have to, hopefully not pull a Telltale. So where's the balance, right? You got to pay everybody. You want people to be happy. I have some sympathy for their position, but it sounds like it's really bad based on the face you're making.
That is my understanding, is that it's the parody. You can't even get a tier 1 meta deck, it seems, without paying.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, yeah. All right, that's probably gonna take some tuning. Is
Yeah.
my take.
I'm not huge on Magic or trading card games in general, but if your community is saying that it sucks, then listen to the people playing your game.
I think that that's a good thing. Just listen to the communities around your game.
Yeah.
So many times it devolves into communities versus people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh. And speaking of communities versus people, I was trying to segue this with the PS1 and 64 thing, but I
sick
put that
segue.
too early. But
No problem.
that makes me good at segues, by the way. If I point out that I had planned something else, either way.
Guys, I've been podcasting with Evan for a little over a year now, and one thing you
A
need to know
little
about
over
him.
a year.
Huh?
This has only been a year.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't mark my calendar.
If it's on your calendar, it happens, and if it's not on your calendar, it didn't happen.
I was hoping someone would say it.
I got
That's
it.
just how calendars work.
That's how that works. That's how that holds up.
Yeah, in
any court of law.
Any court of law.
Speaking of,
Presided by a judge. Sorry.
Great, right.
Evan's fantastic at segues, is what I'm trying to say.
thank you. That
Yes.
means a lot to me.
That's true.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic.
It's because it's that charm. Look at that face.
It's that charm, you smarmy smugmer.
Smugmer?
My
You're
favorite
really
Pokemon.
trying hard not to
Smugmer
call me
is
what
the-
you really want to call me.
Smugmer is my favorite Pokemon. I'll have you know. He is a poison ghost type.
Man, speaking of Pokemon real quick, who's playing the steel drums in that flaming hot Pokemon track?
Honestly.
Because that was fire. That was it brought me back.
That was hot.
Yeah.
Hot. Hot. Ooh, I bet you have the attribute warm body, and eggs hatch half as fast when they're in your team.
That's true. I believe that a lot.
That's how hot.
Yeah. Steel drums, Pokemon, we love you.
Anyway, I found a list on the internet, and I wasn't sure if I agreed with it or not,
Okay.
because I want to crawl the internet for things like most of us and click these little listicles. It's the top 10 video game rivalries of all time.
Oh.
So I figured we could go down this list and just kind of like, give our takes.
Rip it
if we
apart, tell them why
agree
they're
with it.
wrong.
Yeah.
You know what, Garrett? The real test was standing up to the list.
The whole time.
And
The real list was the friends we made along the way.
All right, but I figure it's a top 10 list. So
Yep.
number 10, Shovel Knight and Black Knight.
Ooh, man, I wish I could comment on this one, but I still haven't played Shovel Knight.
I haven't played Shovel Knight either.
I have, and this is a weird one to me because there's only one Shovel Knight game.
Yeah.
And it's relatively new too, isn't it?
It is. I think it's a good rivalry. I enjoy the game. I think Shovel Knight is, it deserves its status as an indie darling. Number 10, though, man.
I don't know. Of all time, that's a stretch.
Of all time is a stretch. You're up against things like Dracula, Alucard, and the Belmonts and stuff. Like, that's just an epic rivalry through decades. I assume they're going to show up on this list, right?
Well, you can assume.
I'm going to go ahead and assume, and I'm never going to look back because I've never been hurt by assumptions before.
All right, number 9 is Master Chief and Arbiter. This seems low to me, I'll be honest.
Because they're kind of like Professor X and Magneto by the time you get to Halo 2, right? They're just kind of buds playing chess and stuff.
Yeah, they're like fellas who are like, we have opposing viewpoints, but we're also like very empathetic of each other's struggles because we're just kind of like the weapon in this war,
How many games was Arbiter in? Was it just 2 of them?
No, he was in...
Was he in 2 and 3?
He was in 2 and 3 for sure.
I don't know if he was
you got
the
to
first
play
one.
as him.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that was
And
awesome.
both those.
Yeah. I don't actually know if he was in 1 because I never had an Xbox OG.
I played it on PC.
I don't think he was... Oh, man, I don't know.
I don't think he was.
I don't know if he was in 4, and I played 1 and
He was
4.
not in. He wasn't in 4.
He wasn't in 4?
No.
4 was a character study in crazy robots.
Oh, yeah. And he
What
wasn't
happens?
obviously in
Yeah.
Reach, which is my personal favorite Halo game.
Actually, me too.
I really
Yeah,
liked
Reach is
it.
really good.
It did a lot of things right and had a very compelling story, I found.
And you knew it had that sort of... how it has to end. Like that Rogue... Was it Rogue One?
It was
the Star Wars film. It was like, everyone
Wow.
has to die.
Yeah.
It is a lot like Rogue One.
Yeah, it's like,
I haven't
we
heard
know...
that comparison before, but yes.
Oh, God. It's impossible. No one can make it. Master Chief is
yeah.
the last Spartan.
We know there's one Spartan who makes it out, and it
Yeah.
ain't any of these guys. It ain't
Yeah.
Ghost or whatever.
And the
Or no, wait,
cold
Ghost,
open...
That's,
the light blue one.
wait, isn't Ghost Call of Duty? It doesn't matter. Number 8, Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. We were kind of talking about Metal Gear Solid last week.
Yeah.
And I haven't played them, so I don't really know. I thought Big Boss was kind of the one that was like...
Well, Liquid Snake is kind of... that's interesting. Because the two, like Liquid Snake and Solid Snake spend Metal Gear Solid 1, ironically released for the PlayStation. I wonder if it's going to be on the PS Classic. That would be a major selling point for me.
That would be really...
Same.
Because it hasn't been re-released, has it?
Only on the GameCube. There was like Twin Snakes, I think, as far as I know.
3.
Oh,
It
really?
is available online, and I think they released a Metal Gear Solid collection as well. Because I was
gotcha.
I looked it up after last week, actually, after
yeah.
our discussion. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that would be a big selling point for the PS1.
Man, rivalry of all time, Solid and Liquid Snake. I mean, their relationship is really interesting.
Yeah.
And the stuff that sort of unfolds between them is also interesting. They have a shirtless fist fight on top of a giant robot, which is dope.
Say no more.
So, I mean, maybe on the strength of that alone, maybe that's good enough to make the list.
I think that we should continue to evaluate this list based
Yeah.
on who
Yeah.
hasn't fought shirtless.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for
Good
sure.
point. So far, I'm not too sure about this list. I don't...
Yeah, right?
I don't
We'll see how it
Well,
goes.
let's keep going. Number 7, Dante and Virgil.
I do like that one.
I
will
do.
say. I'm a big fan of Devil May Cry, though, so
Yeah.
I'm biased. But like the relationship between those two is so frustrating because they're in a delightful, delicious way.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys, you should be friends. You guys are both so cool.
Devil May Cry 4 is so good.
You just
Yeah.
want them to kiss.
It's just like, yeah, or wait, what?
Oh, wait, hold on.
What did you say?
Wait, yeah.
Nick, what did you say?
How many of these...
Did you say they should kiss? That's... I don't know. It's kind of off base, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would assume that. Oh, God, my microphone's going through a tunnel.
I think we should also judge these by who we want to kiss.
Of course,
Oh,
Shovel Knight and
totally,
Black Knight
yeah.
should kiss.
Master
100%.
Chief and the Arbiter. 100%.
Oh,
should
yeah.
kiss.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the Arbiter's mouth? It opens like 4 different ways.
It's like the Predator.
Yeah, it is. That'd be wild.
Number 6, I agree with this one. Fox and Falco.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Is Fox's rival Falco or Wolf? I thought it was
okay.
That's a good question actually, because like Fox and Falco. Falco's just kind of a dick to Fox. You know, they're not really.
They butt heads. They're not like trying to kill each other, but they're definitely competitive.
But like Star Wolf is trying to kill Star Fox
For sure.
right?
Yeah, I guess it's. Do you believe in like friendly rivals? You know, this is the healthy rivalry on this list. I
Oh,
think.
gotcha. Yeah.
I think, which I think has merit. Healthy rivalry. You don't see
for
that
sure.
a lot in games where you're like, we're all buddies. And like the new Pokemon games, I think that your rivals are like your friends.
That's fun.
From like, well,
I like that.
Yeah, but
It's wholesome.
I also kind of like when rivals are just like the scum of the earth. You know, like like in Pokemon Silver.
I haven't played Pokemon Silver.
What the
I've played
hell?
one Pokemon game.
What?
I've only played Pokemon Red. Well, I've played Pokemon Snap, but like I've only played Pokemon Red.
Oh my God!
So you played the most important one, and also Pokemon Red. So in the context of this list, with the relationship between Professor X and Magneto, would that be a friendly one? I mean, obviously they do not see, but they can still play chess together. Would that be Fox Falco or Fox Wolf?
They have a very dynamic rivalry, I'd say.
I like Fox and Falco on here, even though Wolf is kind of a douchebag to Fox a lot of the times.
Oh,
you know how douchebags try to kill you all the time.
All the time
Yeah.
with your dad's ex-partner.
I would say that trying to kill someone, like if I was trying to be killed by someone, I'd be like, yeah, that guy's probably a douchebag. You know,
Right,
And, like,
that's-
it's like two parameters. Like if you park kind of weird, then you're a douchebag, and if you're trying to actively murder me and rip out my guts,
Right. With a spaceship.
Oh man, what a d-bag.
That's
Man.
just a douche move.
if you put too much gel in your hair, like Entourage, and have a knife to my throat, maybe you're
Total
a douche.
douche canoe.
Douche move.
Key indicators, for sure.
Up next, number 5, Sora and Riku.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because Riku's situation changes so much I'm just thinking about over the course of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Over 13 games.
Right. Kingdom Hearts 1, 1.5, 2, 2 and 3, 2 and a quarter, 2.5,
Dream
2.8.
sequence.
You know, I think that should be our little open next week. Who can name what the hell is going on in Kingdom Hearts? Because
Donkey beat us to it.
Oh,
he
did
just
he?
put out a video
Mother
this past week.
damn it, Donkey!
I know.
Top 10 rivals of games. Me and Donkey.
You and Donkey for sure.
Me and Donkey. We go back.
There was definitely a point, I want to say somewhere in the middle of Kingdom Hearts 2, where I was just like, is there someone somewhere who knows everything that's going on? Is there someone somewhere, like, presumably the writer of the game is like,
Not
this
even
all makes
those
sense.
people.
Like,
Somebody does, but it is not the writers of
it's
the
not
game.
the writers. They're like, I don't know, we just want to have an excuse to go hang out with Tarzan.
Pooh is there. I got nothing. They're good games, though. Remarkably, I'm going to buy
Super
this game
fun.
and love it, I'm sure.
I
Yes.
don't know. It just feels like fan fiction, the video game.
A little bit is.
Yeah, that seems valid.
It has, I would say, again, I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I've
Sure.
played most of the games, and I would say that it has some of the writing quality of an okay fan fiction.
High
like,
praise.
Some, like, you know, some horny high school girl just being like,
I've read my fair share of fan fiction. Trust me.
I know you have.
Have you read any good Bowsette fan fiction yet?
Not
Oh
yet.
damn!
I bet.
That will be our cold open for next week. Thank you very much, Nick Bills.
You are so welcome.
Oh my god. Okay, number 4. This one might be a little obscure for you fellas, but I think it's really good. I don't know if it should be that high up, but Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth.
I haven't played those games.
The Ace Attorney.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a little background. But they're kind of foils for each other because Phoenix is a little more like neurotic and like spastic and like he tries to be. He's kind of like a dad, you know. He's like,
Sure.
how about this? And everyone's like, no, why would you make that
Why would
joke,
you
you
do
idiot?
that?
And Miles Edgeworth is the person that is calling him an idiot actively. I mean, like, if you Google him, he's just got like this like suit and vest and like this like cravat. He wears a cravat for Christ's sake. Like,
okay.
Wow.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know that's how you pronounced it.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily like they're friends. They both became lawyers because of each other.
Oh.
And they're just because of the way that court cases work. A lot of times Phoenix is right because he's the main character.
Because it's his last name.
well, right, but hey.
Hey.
Oh my god, I just got that.
Wait a minute.
But no, but he's right because of that. But a lot of times they oppose each other, and Miles is a great prosecutor, but they oppose each other just because that's just what prosecutors and defense attorneys do. You know what I
Right.
mean? In order to find the truth or whatever. Like Miles is on the side of good. He's not a bad guy, but he's just a prosecutor.
Right.
Which I guess you could argue makes him a bad guy.
Are any lawyers really good guys?
Whoa, Garrett.
I'm sorry.
Flaming hot
I'm
take.
sorry. We're not doing the spicy takes anymore. I'm sorry.
He's on fire.
So I would bump that one up to maybe number 10 instead of Shovel Knight and Black Knight. Number 3, Scorpion Sub-Zero.
Oh, for sure.
That's just a rivalry as old as time.
They
Yeah.
must hate each other, right?
They keep changing who they are, though, right? Because Sub-Zero has changed who he is 3 or 4 times over the course of being murdered, being Noob Saibot, coming back to life, and all that kind of stuff.
So
Yeah.
I think it's less important than the story, more that, like, players have that.
Yeah.
Players have
But that's
that
like the
rivalry.
classic player 1, player 2 of Mortal
Yeah, for
Kombat.
sure.
I would say so. I would
Yeah.
say there's only one fighting game, player 1, player 2, that's more iconic, and we'll get to that in a second.
Is it going to be... Okay. I was about to guess.
We're going to get to that in a second.
Okay, gotcha. Am I right, though? You know what I'm about to say?
You're
Am I right?
probably right.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
You're talking about...
Meta Knight and Kirby. Smash Bros.
Oh, that's a great one. That is not on this list.
That's not on this
That is
list?
not- here, we'll talk about who should be on this list in a second.
Triggered. Trigger warning.
Number 2, red and blue. Just the colors.
The color red
Yeah.
and the color blue.
Yeah.
They're diametrically
No,
opposed.
they're not characters. They're just
Complementary colors. No, it's obviously the Pokemon trainers. And I would say that, yeah, man,
Well,
that's...
Yeah, because Gary... Well, so I guess
I
blue.
I would say because they're not even in the same game, are they?
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Yeah, blue is Gary.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
that
like
makes
Ash and Gary.
sense.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
confusing, though, because your default player name, if you play the blue copy, is
blue, right.
And then that makes your rival red.
Yeah, and
Is
also-
Gary red in the blue version of the game?
No, he's actually... So Gary... I don't know.
Yeah.
But so the main character, the protagonist's name is Red. And Gary's name was originally Green because Green came out first. It was red and green originally.
In Japan,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And it was especially weird that they were red because the comic that came out with it, like Venusaur was on green, Charizard was on red.
For sure.
Yeah, and it was especially weird because in the comics, red has a Bulbasaur and Gary, green, blue, whatever.
Gotcha.
Has
So
the
none of it makes sense. Is
None
what
of
you're
it makes
saying.
a lick of sense. It's like the Kingdom Hearts lore.
Is that why the remaster of Red and Blue was red and green? Because it was like fire red and leaf green.
Yes. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, we never got like Hydro Blue.
Yeah, we didn't do Hydro Pump Burst Blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Bubble Blue. That's probably what it'd be.
That's probably that's good.
But still, these fellas show up in a bunch of different games. Like they're
Yeah.
in the new ones. They're just like on vacation.
Oh hell yeah. I love that.
You can find them, and they're like in casual clothes and stuff. And
They're just chilling.
well, it takes place in like a Hawaii, Pacific Island kind of place.
I'm excited.
That's
I'm
cool.
excited to get it.
Oh, you should, dude. You would really like those.
Oh, is it the new one that's already out or the
the
upcoming
one that's already out. But if you, I don't know if you've seen any of the Alolan Pokemon. But some of them look like Pokemon also on vacation. Like you can get Alolan Dugtrio, and he's got like hair.
He's got like a mullet.
he's got dreads.
Google him right now. He is blonde. He like picture Diglett, but with
Yo,
a
what?
pretty blonde wig.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Executor just has a really long neck.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah, he's in the new Smash Bros.
Oh my
actually.
god, it looks like Hanson.
It's
He looks like the Hanson brothers.
It does.
Oh my god, I love that. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
I will say I like Gary as a rival because he has advantages over you, right? Because like he's rich in the cartoons, but he's also rich in the game. I might be conflating those two.
I don't know if he's rich monetarily, but he's definitely like, yeah, his dad is Professor Oak. His grandpa's
he's
Professor
got
Oak.
he's got
Yeah.
a cool convertible.
Yeah, he shows up in a convertible with girls in the cartoon. I remember that. I don't know.
He's a 12-year-old with bitches, which is pretty hard to have when you're 12.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Trust
he's
me.
got game.
I've tried.
10, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is everything that you kind of want to
Like
be. He's got all these fully evolved Pokemon that show up, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, what?
And so I think he does a good job of motivating the player character to be like, "Grr, I just want to beat him.
He's a great balance between the Falco and the
Right.
wolf dynamic. He's like right in between those, which I think is
He's
great.
still a douche, but he's not like the murdery kind. He's like the, "Grr!"
Even though you
kind.
do kill his Raticate.
Oh yeah, with remorselessly.
Oh, yeah.
With a gun.
Yep. Yeah. Remember that scene in Pokemon?
Remember where you buy the gun in Pokemon?
Lieutenant Surge gives you his gun from the war, and he says,
Boy.
hey,
You
do
take
it-
this.
You know what to do.
You know what to do.
It was pretty dark. It was a dark time for Pokemon.
Was it dark?
It was.
I missed those dark little touches.
Lieutenant Surge was he was really identifiable because he was a damaged character. You know, he had flaws.
Yeah.
Giving guns to kids.
And then number one on this godforsaken list is Ryu and Ken,
Okay.
which,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's
It's Ryu and
that's
Ken.
the most iconic player 1, player 2.
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that it's not Kirby and Meta Knight still wounds me to my core.
So no Kirby and Meta. Things that ultimately jump off the page to me is no Kirby, no and Meta Knight. That's a big one. But also like Mario and Bowser.
Come on.
Mario and Donkey Kong even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, going way back, Mario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, because those guys. Well, I'd probably say Mario and Bowser because they're friends.
Yeah, true.
They still get together and hang. Like they play tennis together
And party. They Mario Party.
I don't think they do.
Oh wait, is he not a playable character in Mario Party?
Bowser
In the new one.
Is he playable in the new one?
Bowser is playable in the new one.
Okay.
Okay.
The
Whew, thank you,
classic
Garrett.
one.
Saved me on that
Yeah.
one.
I got you.
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah, so like they're friends.
They drive carts.
Yeah.
They definitely drive carts, right?
They've worked together on multiple occasions. They drive
Yeah.
carts. Bowser's into. They work together.
Now that Bowser's Bowsette, they are in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
They're committed and they love each other very much.
I can't wait to read that fan fiction.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So what makes a great rival in a video game? You know, because like I think of X from Mega Man X or Zero rather. When you first meet him, he just shows up. He dashes, he jumps, he destroys Viral for you, right? Before you even get the chance. Like you're shooting at him and you're not doing anything, and then he kills you, and then X shows up and he's like, "Pew! I'm gonna save the day." That's like a good rival because he's like, "You're not that good."
Yeah.
You could be maybe, but you're not that good. But he propels you to be better, and the player, it like kind of gives the player the glimpse of what they could be, and then what they eventually become, right? Like
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet. What else makes a really cool rival?
What about like Sonic Dr. Robotnik didn't make that list either.
I was thinking Sonic and Shadow. Yeah.
Sonic and Shadow,
because
yeah.
The list isn't necessarily protagonist, antagonist.
I don't
True,
think it is,
true.
and I don't think
Yeah.
it should be because I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
agree.
that's a good.
But
like,
Sonic Shadow. That
For
seems,
sure,
or
I'm
Sonic and Knuckles
shocked.
even. Like
Oh.
Sonic and Knuckles don't really get along that well. I guess they do now. I guess they're buds now. But in Sonic 3, you know, Knuckles has been tricked by Robotnik and
Yeah.
stuff to.
Sonic or Mega Man and Proto Man. That seems like also Sonic and Mario. I would say would even rightfully belong on this list because they go to the Olympics together. But like, there's definitely often, yeah,
Right.
once every 4 years or so,
More or less.
yeah. And so I think that like you need some dynamic, obviously, that puts you guys opposed together, and you guys kind of one up each other. You go back and forth on one upping each other, like Mario and Bowser, for instance. Mario does save the princess, but like by gosh, Bowser keeps on stealing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and the thing with this list, most of the people that they've listed are, you know, fighting towards the same goal. You know?
Yeah, I would say that like something that propels you to be better and often in the same direction.
Exactly.
Makes a good rivalry. You know, it's really it's a relationship that makes makes each person in the relationship want to be better. Like Gary, for instance, he's a total douchebag, but he wants to be better because he wants to stay on top and keep that status quo.
Right.
You know?
And be the champion.
And he wants to be the champ, and he is for like 5
6
minutes.
seconds maybe.
Yeah,
and then you show up.
He's like, I just won. What's up? I'm the greatest in the world. And you're like,
Challenge.
Boom. Now you're not.
A challenger approaches.
I'm just gonna hypnosis focus punch.
You think any of the Tetronimos don't get along?
Oh,
So I feel
yeah.
like Straight Edge, like 4 blocks straight piece, is probably just a diva.
Well,
Everyone's like, they're always hoping for me.
What about left-facing L piece?
I feel
Yeah.
a lot of sexual tension between left L block and square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
You know
For
they're
sure.
trying to.
That heat.
You know what that is.
When are we getting Tetromino at?
Yeah, Tetronimo.
Because square block is thick.
And I
Take
feel
that
like
back. How dare you? How
feel
dare
like-
you say that?
and T-Piece is just not anyone's rival. It's just like I get along with everybody. Everybody loves T-Piece.
Everybody loves TP.
Dude, I want to hang out with TP.
Everyone wants to hang out with T-Piece.
Fellas want to be him. Ladies want to be with him.
He's TP.
He's good on top. He's good on bottom. You just can't go wrong with T-Piece. He's
can't.
always ready.
You gotta love someone that's versatile like that. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so this is an okay list, but
It's
I feel
okay.
like we could improve. And listener, go to our Discord and plug who you think would be.
Yeah.
But for right now, I think we're gonna go to the bonus stage.
Evan, you know what I say to that?
What?
Do you know?
Okay.
To that I say, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Well, thank you, Garrett.
I'm glad you
Here,
said it.
seconded.
All right, welcome to the bonus round. Again, we don't have a car here. Is that what
To
we're doing
smash.
now?
You,
To smash?
Yeah,
we still
no,
don't have
we
a
don't.
smashable car. I feel like that's going to be when we patch the graphics again. Like we'll patch the podcast and
Yeah, it'll
patch
be
in a
better.
car.
A patch.
The post-release patch.
Wait, so this stage exists, and we're all just like standing around.
Yeah, it's like, man, this could really use a car. We'll have to do some post-release support.
All right, well, let's get into some sponsors. I have some copy this time. but
Okay,
not-
cool.
Oh, that's more than we had last
But
time.
we could still have some fun. All right, so this is Echo Gear. They are a mount and gaming accessory, mostly mounts. So we built our monitor mounts with gamers in mind. Well, with ourselves in mind, really, because we're gamers too. Clutter, tip over, misalignment, we were over it. And our monitor mounts reflect that. Sturdy, smooth moving stands that get your screen or screens up and off the desk and look badass doing it. I like that they said badass.
It makes me feel more comfortable about saying swear words on the pod.
You did say bastard earlier.
I did say
and I gotta
bastard.
tell you,
Spicy.
I was worried that maybe the folks over at Rectify Gaming would chastise me for that,
but like them having a little bit of profanity, I think it also stands to show their like veteranness. Like these are some mounts that have seen some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're the Lieutenant Surge of stands.
yeah.
For sure.
you know, they've seen some you know what.
This is the like when you're first starting like a D&D campaign or like a medieval RPG and it's like go get a quest from that like hooded fella in the tavern.
Scar over the eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, why does that dude want 50 wolf's pelts? I don't know, but here they are.
I'm not going to say no to that guy. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's got that scar over his eye.
Got the scar over his eye.
So, you know, Echo Gear, they don't want to waste your valuable time installing products. We totally get that. That's why we made sure mounts are super easy to install and can be done in less than 30 minutes. And even if you do need help, our product pros are ready just a phone call away or email away, standing by 7 days a week, ready to take your questions. So again, these guys are like, you know, when you see in movies and TV, and I'm sure this has, I don't know if this has happened in real life because I've never seen it, but when the firefighters are like holding out that big trampoline thing and they got a guy who's like 40, 50 stories up and he's like, I'm going to jump with full confidence into this trapezoid. Or this trapezoid.
Right at this trap, yeah.
And they'll save me. Echo Gear is that.
For sure.
I like that because I'm kind of a dumbass. And I know that I'd have problems, you know, setting it up on my own.
Oh, yeah.
And they just knew that in advance. So like, shouts out to them.
A company that takes my incompetence into consideration is well worth my buck.
And
Absolutely.
I really need it. I also like that they make little like charger stands. Have you seen these? Where it's
Yeah.
like a little
cool.
shelf that goes over your electrical outlet, and you can put speakers and phones and stuff on it.
wow.
It's like that's a great idea.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some other stuff is like all their stuffs are high quality. Obviously, all their swinging and rigs and stuff are butter smooth, and all of their stuff is like basically one size fits all. So they have, if whatever your monitor needs are or mounting needs, they can do it. They're real good. And
yeah.
you can upgrade your gear and save 10% off by using code 10RECTIFY at checkout.
Thanks, Echo Gear.
Yeah.
So you get all those things and for cheaper.
All right, next up, we have MetaThreads. That is the official jersey company of us, Rectify Gaming.
You know, a little birdie told me that these three handsome boys sitting in this room right now might be getting a little something from MetaThreads.
I think so, because we're going to purchase them.
Yes.
Yes.
And guess what, listener? You should too.
Yeah, because we believe in it and would purchase them. Even if they didn't send some stuff for free, which they may or may not do. Who can say?
Then can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
You guys wearing pants right now?
I'm
wearing shorts.
Some level of pant.
So we can agree that clothing is
Important?
a staple?
I would
Oh, for
say
sure.
Nice.
I haven't gone, and maybe I have a problem, but I haven't gone any day in a row without wearing clothes in a
Yeah.
really long time.
So if you need clothes, might I recommend MetaThreads to you, listener?
Yeah, they're super comfy and they look good. And like, again, if you want to rep the Rectify stuff, MetaThreads.
That's what you want to go with.
Yeah, obviously.
Because if you're going with something else, like, come on, get your act together, you dummy.
Well, have you ever like wished that you ever looked at your dumb old boring clothes and been like, man, what would character select if somebody else picked me? What would the player 2 costume look
right,
like?
it's just me, but red.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You can get different clothes from MetaThreads and then have an idea of what that might look like.
I love
I just
that.
imagine both of you as Ken and Ryu. It's like, oh, okay. So Garrett is like red. red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that doesn't have to comparison.
So that would make me Blanca, I guess.
That would make you Blanca or Zangief.
Oh, Zonky. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so definitely check out MetaThreads. They are sick. Next, we've got Control Freak. They are what your hands need.
Oh, you know what my hands need? My hands need some of that Control Freak.
Well, so like, yeah, have you ever thought your controller wasn't comfy enough or maybe didn't suit your exact needs?
Oh my gosh, there's actually a couple of controllers that make my hands hurt. I have like long alien fingers.
Look at those long alien fingers.
Yes, some digits,
They're
boy.
great for piano and they're great for like bass guitar, but there's some, especially a couple of handhelds and stuff, where after an extended play session, I'll feel it in my hands. And it's just like, oh God, my mind is willing, if somewhat garbage, but my body is failing me.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, Control Freak can lend you a hand. They've got They've got
They
thumbstick.
can lend your hand a hand.
They can lend your hand
a hand.
Yeah, they got grips for the back of your controllers. They got thumbstick pads. They got everything.
Nice.
And you can save 10% off by using code RCG on all Control Freak products.
Done.
Yeah.
Add to cart.
Next, you remember that awesome, badass nutrition supplement?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Outbreak Nutrition. They are back. The apocalypse created a world in which competition is more than fierce. It is downright deadly. To stay alive, you need Outbreak supplements for sharper minds, quicker reflexes, and the energy to keep pushing beyond your limits. I just saw the My Hero Academia movie, and if you guys aren't a fan of that anime, A, you should be, and B, the whole thing is about going beyond your limits, going plus ultra, 110%, all that stuff, and, well, Outbreak Nutrition.
It's going to help you get there.
It's kind of a shortcut to that. It's like the nutrition version of watching My Hero Academia.
Do you think that in the, I want to say it was the Mortal Kombat movie, when Jax, he has to like, my metal arms are holding me back, and he pulls the metal off of his arms, and then he's able to fight better? Do you think that was because of Outbreak Nutrition?
I think that there is a healthy percentage chance that is because of
I feel like we can draw that
There's
line. That
definitely
seems
a
like a straight line.
correlation between the two, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of cool moments. Like, remember in Blade, when Blade, his mom's like, vampires are my people now, and Blade throws up the blade, and then he bicycle kicks it into her chest.
Yeah.
I think he was like, had some Outbreak Nutrition.
Direct
Remember
line to Outbreak
when
Nutrition.
Morpheus broke the handcuffs?
Yeah, because he has to get to the helicopter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Outbreak Nutrition, for
Yep.
sure.
And
that's what they shot into him in the real world so that he could do that in the Matrix.
That's exactly, yes.
I agree. Both pills in the Matrix have Outbreak Nutrition. You can use code Rectify for 15% off your order there.
And if you don't, then like,
What?
what are you doing? I'm going to say that every time.
If you don't-
Every time. I'm
What
going
do you-
to, like,
every
what is
time-
wrong with you?
Every time you don't, Garrett is disappointed. He's not
Yeah.
mad. He's just disappointed.
And you know what? A little hurt, too.
just a hurt.
So live with that.
Also, Outbreak, if you're listening, I would really like a second chapter of your lore, because I would love to read that on air.
Yeah, that would be
we want more.
spectacular.
I want more lore, please.
You had us titillated.
Just hit me, slide into the DMs. Just let me know.
You folks ready for the final one?
Hit me.
Well, before, I'm going to say, hey, make sure you check out our other podcast, Evan and Garrett Take on the World.
Yeah, check it out.
That's Garrett and I. Nick has been an occasional guest on there as well.
It's not as good as this show.
It's not. It's less about video games, which I don't like.
Yeah.
But we have cool music and some other fun stuff. It's like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, but for millennials.
Yeah.
And Gen X, I guess. Gen Z. Whatever,
I'd
whatever
say
those
so.
kiddos are calling themselves.
Can I come on that show?
Yeah, absolutely.
At some point?
Absolutely.
Yes.
If
yeah.
you bring your Emmys.
Yeah.
Okay, deal.
All right. Last one, but not least, we have Autofull Gaming chairs. The best chairs in the business. I'm just going to say it, all right?
Say it.
I'm saying it.
Say it.
I'm saying what everyone else is too afraid to say. Autofull Gaming chairs are the best, and I will take no questions.
Oh, here.
Now,
check
any
out this chair.
questions?
It's not here. Do you want to sit in this chair? It's not one of theirs, but it's a chair.
Let me see this chair. Do you see this chair?
Don't do it.
looking
It's a
at-
trap. Don't do it. It's a
All
trap.
right, this chair right here.
I care about you too much.
I think he's gonna.
Oh,
Take that, not Autofull Gaming
You
chair.
messed that chair up.
that
Yeah.
chair is never gonna be the same.
And I'll tell you what, I probably couldn't have done that to an Autofull Gaming
a family.
Yeah, my God!
Mr. Titan.
Oh man, yeah. So get something good for your butt, and
Do
get
it.
Autofull Gaming chair, and honestly, the rest of your body as well.
Everything your butt does for you, the least you can do is get it an Autofull gaming chair.
I think so. Yeah, it does, and it does quite a bit.
It does, and it's some of the jobs that no one else wants to do. You know, it's just like
It's a dirty job, but
yeah, someone
Someone's
get it a
gotta
chair,
do it.
get it an
Exactly.
Autofull gaming chair.
All right, well that's it for the bonus round. Garrett, let's return to the podcast.
hey, we're back at the podcast.
Man, I can't believe that bonus round.
So good.
Oh,
I can't
God.
wait till we add the post patch for the car. I'm still excited.
Well, I definitely broke a chair, so
that chair
that's good.
left it behind in the
Didn't
bonus
have to
round.
do that.
That chair is broken, and we will tell no one that I broke that chair.
You're really committed to the bit. I mean, props to you.
I wanted people to know how I felt about the chairs.
Listen, man, we get it, okay? We get it.
Welcome back to Get Wrecked podcast about video games, brought to you by Rectify Gaming.
Oh, sensual.
Little sensual.
Taking it down a little bit. I like it.
I know we talked about card games a little bit last show with the meta and stuff, but this is a bit of a different take on it. So the Magic the Gathering beta is open now.
Oh,
It is
really? It's
to the
open
public.
beta now.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. So you can go download it on your computer device, and you can try it out. And I will say I played the closed beta a couple days ago, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah?
The old, it's fine.
It was
It's all right.
exactly Magic the Gathering.
So what's
okay.
the point of doing it online.
Well, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Is the obvious thing is that like you can play at your convenience, and that's pretty sweet. But like I feel like you kind of lose something too. Like I also saw this with the Switch. They're porting a bunch of board games, and I've seen this, like Tabletop Simulator on Steam, and even like some sports games, like the stuff that you can do in real life that they just make
a video game.
Right.
I can't believe that they made it. This is a kind of a tangent for simulation, but there's a cricket video game.
What?
Cricket, the sport. There's a cricket simulator video game.
That game is wildly popular.
It is wildly popular, and I just don't get it.
Do any of you guys know the rules to cricket?
I don't, but apparently it's like it takes forever to play.
It takes forever to play.
I don't know the rules, but I think we should all take a stab at the rules to cricket. I mean, not pickle. To pickle.
Yeah. You have to hit a ball that is being pitched at you very quickly. You hit it with a big, wide, flat bat, and nowhere is out of bounds. So you can hit it. You play in the center of a circle, and you can hit the ball anywhere. And so the defense is spread around this entire 360-degree thing, and the only way that they can get you out. There's only two bases, right? The one you're standing in front of, and the one the pitcher is sort of pitching from.
This seems like the rules to cricket.
And you just run back and forth between those two bases, and every time you make it to a base, you score a point.
Wait, is that the real? Those sound too real to be.
I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, did you not want the actual rules to cricket?
No, I
think Evan wanted you to do like a joke.
I was thinking about doing a bit, but if you knew them, I'm happy about it.
So cricket. I'm glad you asked. It's about, and this is true. It's all about confections, right? You're trying to make mint chocolate confections as fast as possible in a competitive setting.
You don't have to Thank you for the rules. Garrett, do you have a guess?
So you know the cricket gun from Men in Black?
Yes.
It has a lot to do with that, but I'm not going to get into it.
There's a lot going on with it. But the thing is, a cricket match, because you are at bat until they throw you out, a cricket match can last 4 days. It's not the typical thing, but if a team is skunking another team, they have to get the batter out, and you go through your whole lineup once, right? You top of the lineup, bottom of the lineup, everyone gets to bat one time. And so if they have like a killer, and they just can never get him out, then the game never ends.
What?
Yeah.
There's not like a mercy rule?
I would assume at lower levels of play, but I think
there must be.
But in the video game, you can turn all the safeties off, my man.
That's true.
You can run up that score to 176-2.
Yeah,
and that's what I call fun.
Yeah, running up the score.
Actually, you know what? More interesting, turning up the safeties and things. You were just talking about the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. Oh, what an interesting options menu.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 has one of the most interesting array of accessibility options. So obviously there's combat difficulty, easy, medium, hard. Pretty standard, nothing amazing there. If you go into the menus, though, you can do things like Autocomplete Quicktime events, which turns all those Quicktime sequences where you have to shoot webs to stop the helicopter from landing on civilians.
Oh my God, what a great scene!
That's awesome.
I didn't understand that, and so I failed it because I just hit I hit both buttons once, and that's not enough. You got to keep shooting the webs.
Yeah.
You got to keep shooting the webs. Anyway, so it turns all those things just into regular cutscenes, like back before Resident Evil 4 came out.
Yeah.
Just cutscenes. And you can turn that on or off. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then there's also an option to you can turn on a button that you can hit to auto-complete the puzzles. So if you want to play
seen that, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to play like a hard combat game, but you don't want to mess around with puzzles or story and stuff, you just want to be Spider-Man as hard as possible, you can do that. You want to do just stories, basically easy combat, just story stuff, and then do some puzzles, you can do that. And I was like, well, this is a really interesting way of opening up your game to as many people as possible.
Which is ultimately, I feel, a big accessibility should be a goal of most games. Like, this kind of goes to the Sony tweeted out earlier recently, a little rabbit emoji guy, and said it's okay to play games on easy. And that's something that I've been a big proprietor of for a really long time. I know it's not the popular thing. I know it's not the MLG we're all going hard and,
get good.
Because I will play tons of hard games, but I just won't fault people for not. You know what I mean? Like, I play games on medium because I feel medium is where they put, this is like the story that they wanted to tell. Because difficulty, I find, can, lend itself to game feel, for instance.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like Dark Souls. Take Dark Souls.
It's part of the game.
I'm taking Dark Souls.
Take it. Take it, baby.
Go for it.
It's gone. Now take it, but picture easy mode.
Yeah, it's not the same.
If you just breeze through that game, I feel that you're kind of missing the story they want to tell.
Yeah.
Right?
Because part of the process of being in Dark Souls is being like miserable and gross.
Yeah.
Your character is gross and like a husk of a person.
And like the controls are really clunky, and like that's obviously very on purpose, you know, because like every move counts.
Yeah. So when difficulty is part of the design of the game, should you compromise on it? I feel like that's the question you're asking. Is it worth compromising on the difficulty sort of that you've built into the soul of your game? Is it worth turning that, giving people an easy mode
I don't
out?
think you should.
You don't think you should give people an out?
No. Well, especially with a game like Dark Souls, you know? Mm-hmm. That's how you're supposed to play the game.
Well, so where's the line?
Well, I think it depends on, you know, who you're trying to sell your game to. Mm-hmm. You know, like if you're, take Halo, you know? Everybody wants to play Halo.
Yeah.
Even if you're not great at video games, you can play it on easy mode.
Everybody likes Halo.
Exactly.
That's true.
And Halo on Legendary is like a totally different game from Halo on normal.
Here, let me rephrase that. Everyone liked Halo 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Some people still like Halo. I have not played Halo 5, and I
Yeah, me neither.
don't really intend to. I've heard it's good, but...
Whatever.
Yeah.
I played through story mode.
Have Halo 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
But did you play it on Legendary? Did you play it on...
No.
Because like, that
so
was a big
I've actually
thing.
noticed that over time, my difficulty requirements have changed. It's like before, when I just moved to the southeastern United States, and I was not super employed yet, I noticed that I was playing games on the hardest difficulty just so that they would last longer. Where it's like, I don't have a job. I don't need this game to be over in 5 hours. I need this. I would like this purchase to maybe last a little bit longer. Now that I am
Employed.
more, I've actually brought that difficulty down back to medium. I was like, you know what, standard experience is fine. I want to get a solid, really fun 12 to 20 hours out of this game, and that's all I have time for.
Yeah. That's kind of where I found myself as well. Now, that being said, you know, like Halo on Legendary totally changes the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like using difficulty to like pad time is what they used to do back in the day. You know, like with Castlevania, they want the games to last longer. So because games obviously weren't as big, you know, they couldn't fit so much game. So they would just make them ludicrously difficult. That's where the old like Nintendo hard comes from.
Right.
And some people are complaining about that with the new ports on the Switch, actually, that the save states make them harder. But I would say, or easier, I mean, too easy.
I mean, it's better than the way they pad games now with, you know, ladders and QuickTime events and literally anything to just like break up the flow of gameplay, you know?
Well, how do you mean?
Say you're playing Arkham Asylum.
I'm playing Arkham Asylum. Oh, I am Batman, and I'm on this gargoyle.
Imagine how much time it takes to pull off the grate in front of the thing to crawl through it. You know, it just like it's just unnecessary.
So and I'll agree with some of that as being unnecessary, but I will say like pulling off actually that's a good example of like unnecessary padding, because they definitely still pad games. I'm not trying to claim that like, I mean, look at like the original Destiny. That's like all padding pretty much. It's all just like, here's a big monster. This time with 1,000 health. You know,
that's a lot of health.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a lot of bullets to deal 1,000 damage,
and that's all the game was.
And sometimes he's invincible.
Yeah.
I will say that the final boss at the end of the first raid of Destiny 1 was just an incredible experience to go through, because he obviously does have a lot of health, but you had to coordinate 6 people. And the first time I did it, I didn't understand how the game mechanic worked, because there was like portals. 2 people had to go through the portals and grab a device, and they had to both come out at the same time. And like the bad guy was manipulating space-time against you, and then you would only have a limited time where you could make him vulnerable, and you had to hit him with everything. That was a cool, well-crafted boss fight.
Yeah.
When your increase in difficulty is just their health goes up,
it's kind of a cop-out.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it just takes more bullets. That's not not interesting.
That's something when scaling difficulty, like when you scale difficulty to make things easier, what do you do to do it? You know what I mean? Because if it's just removing a couple enemies, then like, does it make that big of a difference? You know?
Yeah.
Where do you guys like to play your difficulty? You said standard pretty much now.
Yeah, I've been playing on normal. I will say I really enjoyed, I don't know if you guys played Borderlands.
Oh, yeah.
Borderlands 2.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
Great
Borderlands 2, you basically unlocked more interesting difficulties, also more difficult difficulties, but like
I love
true
the way they
Vault
did
Hunter
that.
mode, ultimate Vault Hunter mode. And I thought they did a good job of, obviously everything was more dangerous, but they also changed the way the elemental multipliers worked in interesting ways. So all of a sudden, so like on normal mode, you can get through with pretty much any element all the time. You just sort of pick whatever gun's your favorite. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to think about it too much. If you decide to play through it again on New Game Plus, all the multipliers, both good and bad, are much higher. So like lightning damage only does 25% damage against flesh, for example, but it deals double damage against shields. Whereas on the original playthrough, it's like 75, 125, right? Something like that.
I really like, that's a good thing. I like when games become more difficult as you get better. Like, so a good example with Halo is the skulls. Right?
Yeah.
That lets you kind of tune how and in what ways the game becomes more difficult.
And exploding grunts with party hats.
Well, that's clearly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I personally still have not played a Dark Souls game.
Oh, really?
I played Bloodborne, but I haven't played the Dark Souls game, and I'm looking forward to it. I will probably tear my hair out, but that is part of the experience.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be part of,
And if that is the experience that you're trying to put forth, then I think that not making it easy is fine. Some things, like Spider-Man, for instance, most of that, you can still have a good Spider-Man experience if you're not into the puzzles or if you want combat to be a little easier. I think that's okay.
That's a great point, actually, because the goal of Spider-Man is just to let you be Spider-Man in New York City, right? That's the goal of the game. And so these difficulty options let you just do that how you want to do.
Now, personally, I like those, especially like in the beginning of the game when the game's a little more difficult, which is interesting because, like, you know, as you level up, you get way better, and the game doesn't necessarily scale with that, so it's a little less kind as you get better, the game gets easier, and not in just that the way that your like responses and like instincts are now more like understanding of the game. How do I want to put this?
How do you want to put this?
How do I want to put this?
Where are you going to put this?
Why am I going to put this?
And when? Oh, actually, I guess right now. We know the answer. Don't answer that one.
Well, what I will say is that those puzzles and stuff make it feel more like a Spider-Man experience. But to some people who don't want to, I don't necessarily blame them because I don't think that the experience is necessarily tied to those things.
Right. Sure. Playing a game of Pipe Dream, I really enjoy it. I like the circuitry puzzles, but I'm sure there are people like, I just want to whip through the city. I want to do sweet tricks whipping through the city.
I don't like the circuitry puzzles, but I want to do them because they're tedious and sciencey, and that's like a part of, to me as a Spider-Man fan, part of Peter Parker's life. But I think that if you're somebody who wants to play games and don't want to play on hard modes or anything, I don't think you should like be faulted for that. Like I really don't.
So do you ever see a world where you would, is there a way you could see Dark Souls being rebalanced into an easy mode? Is there a way, Evan? How do we build an easy mode that somehow allows everyone to experience Dark Souls but still like eventually complete the game?
I think if the game were a little more forgiving, yeah, I mean, the game could be more forgiving. I think if you still kept the like movement economy the same, where it's like really clunky and you have to be purposeful, because people, like even people who aren't huge gamers can still like learn games, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. So I think keeping that and then making the bosses a little less,
soul crushing.
Soul crushing, right?
Dark Soul crushing.
That's the one.
Hey!
Yeah, there it is.
Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff.
That's all I got to say. So let's end with our little segment. Let's get into what are we playing this week?
We're the video games.
Evan, what are you playing?
What am I playing this week? That's a good question, man. My computer is still fried, and I'm really bummed about it.
That is a bummer.
It is a bummer. Yeah. So I've just been, I've been actually kind of going through the Nintendo NES library.
Oh, what have you? I know you talked about River City Ransom. You picked up a new title. Are you still on that one?
No, I'm working on Mario 3. I've never beat it.
Oh my gosh, Mario 3.
Yeah, it's really good. And I'm actually pretty good at it, if I do say so myself.
Can I tell you guys an anecdote about my childhood about Mario 3?
Please.
Do we have time for that?
Please,
Yes,
Nick Bills, please tell us.
Okay, so I grew up moving around. And one of the countries I lived in when I was very young, we're talking about kindergarten, I was in Taiwan.
Ooh.
And so my first video game console was not a Nintendo Entertainment System or an Atari 2600. It was a Micro Genius. I see the question in your eyes, Garrett. What in the world is a Micro Genius? It's not real. It's a bootleg Nintendo. It's a counterfeit Nintendo.
Interesting.
And so as a result of that, all the games were also counterfeit.
What? Okay.
So the first cartridge I had was 150 games on a single cartridge.
It's a lot of games.
And the games on this thing were like Contra, right? Mario, the 1986 Mario.
Were they the real ones, or were they like...
They were the first 2 pages of games. So like the first 50 games was actually a bunch of NES games. What became weird around game number 51, it was like, wait a minute, this is just Mario again, but you started on a different level and as Fire Mario.
Yeah.
Or you started on a different level in Contra and you had the red pants. Like just different stuff like that. And there was totally broken one. Like by the time you got to game like 148, it was like Excite Bike, but all the textures were in the wrong place.
What?
But all the objects were in the usual place.
So it was just a bunch of.
So you was just like, what is this?
Yeah,
like
it's broken.
Busted games. But one of the two things would happen. Once I bought a game that I thought was Mario, and it turned out to be the Flintstones. the cover art was Mario. Put it in, turn it on. So happy, Flintstones. The second thing was I bought a copy of Mario 3.
Okay.
And on the back was written, "Open your inventory and hit select." No context. So
Okay.
there's an inventory in Mario 3. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm plugging in, turn it on, hit select, and I could just use any item.
What?
It would just cycle through the entire inventory of items in the game.
That's what, 4 in Mario 3?
Mario 3. No, it's like mushroom, fire flower, star, frog
Tanuki
suit,
leaf. Oh, the frog suit.
Power Pig, the cloud, the whistle,
The whistle.
the Hammer Brothers suit. So this kid rolled through the game. Was like, oh man, I'm definitely gonna be a Hammer Brothers the whole game.
Oh man, I forgot how many powers there were in this game, and
Yeah.
I'm playing it right now.
Yeah. So
It's like
I mean,
Game Shark before Game Shark.
It
Yeah.
was. It was exactly that. I'm
Yeah.
pointing very forcefully.
Yes,
he's
he is.
correct.
Yeah.
He's pointing so hard.
I'm pointing. I'm excited. I forgot what we were talking about. Mario 3 is good. I grew up on counterfeit games.
Yeah. So I've been playing that. I've been playing a lot of Mario 3 mostly, and I'm about to pick up Zelda. I think because I want to play. I've played through it before, but like I did it with like a little guide and a map and stuff because I was like I want to play it. But now I'm kind of like, can I figure this out?
Yeah.
By me?
Good luck.
I am not optimistic. And I think I'm also going to pick up Dead Cells tonight as well.
Oh.
As per your recommendation.
It is fun, I will say. It's especially if you can only play it in. I did notice that as I was starting the game, the beginning can feel like I'm doing this first level again. But because of the nature of the Switch, a lot of times I was just like, oh, I get to play the first level again.
Yeah.
So it's not real good for binge sessions for like 4 hours necessarily.
I
but-
forgot. I'm playing Golf Story. I beat it again. I've been playing a lot of stuff on the Switch lately.
It's good, especially if your PC is fried.
Yeah, I'm going to hopefully get that fixed this weekend. But yeah.
What is Golf Story?
Golf Story is an RPG about golf. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I cannot recommend this. If you can tolerate golf simulators and are maybe interested in like golf sports games, I would say pick it up. It's really clever and super fun.
And golf is another thing that Bowser and Mario have done together as friends.
True.
How about you, Garrett? What are you playing?
I've still been replaying Knights of the Old Republic.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Really?
Smart man.
You know,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never played I've
Dude,
heard it's amazing.
what?
Oh, it's amazing.
It is so
Probably
good.
the best Star Wars game.
Yeah, I would say not even probably.
Yeah.
It's I mean maybe Battlefront 2 and maybe Jedi Academy, but it's either Battlefront 2 or Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
No, it's great. It's a whole lot of fun. And if you haven't played KOTOR, then play KOTOR.
Yeah, I would
'Cause
say
it's
so.
great.
Yeah.
If you like Star Wars even a little bit, this is like you're missing out.
Yeah, it's true.
You're missing out.
I feel like Garrett was going to have the same response. If you don't play KOTOR, he's going to be just as hurt as if you don't pick up something from Echo Gear.
Yeah,
it's like, what are you
Garrett's-
doing?
He's just a fragile individual.
No,
sensitive.
he just cares about you.
I
He
really
sees you
do.
hurting yourself and just wonders why you're doing it.
Yeah.
He cares too much.
And last but not least, Nick Bales.
Oh, yeah. What have I been playing this week? I, of course, have been... so I tried to play Malagos Rogue on the Hearthstone ladder this morning.
How's that going?
I got swear words annihilated. It was... I tried so hard to, and there's one game I definitely threw because I didn't see the combo that I could have done, but I was just like, I queued into, and I'm not exaggerating, 6 Zoo Warlocks in a row. I was just like, I can't, the fun police are just out, and any decks that don't have a defensive strategy, which I was asking for it, right? I went in there without a defensive strategy to deal with Zoo, but I got ran over.
I will say I also screwed myself very recently in Hearthstone. I'm playing. I've been messing around with a good old taunt druid, which is fun. Yeah, because Hadronox is just super sweet.
Yeah, with you going full Hadronox Witching Hour, Oakheart, cool.
Yeah, so I'm an idiot though, and I've screwed up on several occasions because I put Tortolin Forager.
Oh yeah,
That's
the
a
bolster
big
bear guy. Yeah.
And Beetleberries fella. And
yeah.
When you slap him down, he adds a big guy in your hand, and a lot of times that big guy is a beast.
Oh crap!
And I have on a couple of occasions played it without thinking. And here's the other dumb part: I'm running the Grizzlies.
The
Which are
Witchwood Grizzlies.
also beasts now.
Yeah, but those are at least good if you need, because those are like 312, right?
Yeah,
when you witching hour them for 3 mana.
Yeah, but still, it's not as good as witching houring a Hadronox.
Hadronox is definitely the bet, but sometimes you're just dead. Like you can never get Hadronox out the first time.
Yeah.
But as far as games that I'm playing, I've actually been the new season of Diablo 3 just started, so I'll probably fire that up before too long.
Oh, cool.
Are you gonna pick that up on the Switch?
Oh man, that is a great question.
Evan and I probably will. So
Yeah.
you should get
I'm going
with
to.
us.
Okay, that's all. I needed any excuse. I was like, I've bought Diablo twice now. Will I buy it a third time? The answer is yes. Look at that face. Yes.
Nah.
The answer is yes.
Cool. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. This has been Get Wrecked, a podcast brought to you by Rectify Gaming.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. This is Garrett. Goodbye forever. I'm just kidding. Till next week.
Please come back, Garrett. And everybody out there in podcast land, thanks for listening. And remember, wreck or get wrecked.